First with breaking news. First with new information. 19 News starts now with a first alert for severe weather.
Well, tough to get much of anything done outside today. The heat and humidity absolutely brutal for anyone who has to work outside. Also for people without air conditioning. It's dangerous in some cases. 19 News with team coverage on these 19 first alert weather days. Hello, I'm Brian Duffy. Nicole has the day off. 3 days of high temps pushing past the 90s. Add in the humidity and it feels like it's in the hundreds. 19 first alert meteorologist Erica Page has Cleveland's most accurate forecast. Hey, Erica.
Hello. Yeah, and everybody's trying to find ways to stay cool at this point. I think Edgewater is going to be a pretty popular spot along with a lot of our other area beaches as one of many ways likely to try and kind of stay a little bit cooler here as we go through the rest of this week. It is warm. Thankfully, we do have a little bit of a breeze. You can actually see that here with the tree kind of blowing in the wind a little bit more. That is good because it kind of keeps this muggier air moving around just a little bit more, but we may not have as much of a breeze on hand as we go through the next couple of days. So enjoy it, I guess, while it's here. It is a 19 first alert weather day through Thursday. Again, through 8 p.m. on Thursday, that's when this excessive heat warning will remain in effect. It's in effect for all of Northeast Ohio now at this point. In fact, if you were to expand this map out, it's for the entire state of Ohio. So that just goes to show you how hot, how humid it is, and certainly the impact that it can certainly have on our bodies as a result of it. Please make sure, and we're going to keep repeating this pretty much day after day, make sure you're taking frequent breaks. If you have to do some outdoor activities, do it first thing in the morning or try and get it done in the evening. That's also the best time to water plants so that you don't evaporate away all of that moisture. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Find some shade if you don't have access to AC, and make sure to just check on folks and make sure everybody's doing okay, especially with heat like this. Temperatures right now, lower 90s, but you can see that heat index continues to climb. We'll talk about how much hotter it'll get coming up in your full forecast.
First alert heat wave, of course, reaching every corner of Northeast Ohio. 19 News reporter Stephen Hernandez joins us live from Lorain, where the game plan remains the same. Stephen, everywhere, people just trying to find a way to cool off.
That's right, Brian. Lakewood Beach in Lorain has been the go-to spot for people to try and stay cool today. But the city of Lorain has an important message that no matter what you decide to do, make sure you're not doing it alone.
I'm about to be playing football, and the best of all, I'm about to go swimming.
Remington Treese and his family have a clear mission today. Beat Lorain's sweltering heat with a dip into Lake Erie.
No, we went to the park. We tried the park. It was hot, so we came down here to the lake.
And he's not alone. The city of Lorain is already taking the right steps to make sure everyone is cool and secure for the start of this week's heat wave. Deputy Safety and Service Director Tim Williams says the city's strategy is to keep its functions rolling, but with an abundance of caution.
Lots of weeds being pulled, lots of holes being dug, and streets being repaired. So we're always looking at our employees and making sure that they're taking the proper precautions.
That caution extends to the most vulnerable in Lorain, including the homeless, which are closely monitored by the United Way of Greater Lorain.
You could be dehydrated, you could actually die from that. There's many different kinds of heat-related illnesses. The shelters add beds where possible, and then when those extra beds get full, we make available some emergency shelter vouchers that go to one local hotel.
It's a message of togetherness Williams is also extending to everyone else in the city.
Look to your neighbors and lean on your friends and family. Stay hydrated, stay in a cool place, cut down on that outdoor exercising, and be safe.
And Teresa's family is looking to make the most of their time together.
When you're here in Ohio, which everybody knows, we got all different types of weather. So this weather, I'm just gonna enjoy it while I can.
Well, so if the beach isn't part of your plan and you're looking into some cooling centers, one of them open today is the Faith Ministries and Greater Victory Christian Center, which is actually the church that Mr. Williams is a co-pastor for. And if you have any questions or want to know more about cooling centers open in Lorain County, you can dial 211 for more info. Live in Lorain, Stephen Hernandez, 19 News.
All right, and stay with 19 News for continuing coverage of this heat advisory. You can find a list of all the cooling shelters on our website at cleveland19.com. Well, as soon as news hit that LeBron James and the era there in LA is over, social media, well, the reaction was instant. 19 Data journalist Dan DeRose is here with a look at the comments. And of course, everybody's speculation in situations like this, everybody's an expert.
Normally, we don't like to report on speculation, but when it comes to LeBron, the speculation is 6 o'clock tonight when he's officially a free agent. Where is he going to head? The first tweet we look at comes from the Los Angeles Lakers. The obligatory thank you, LeBron. LeBron James is one of the greatest athletes in history. We will always be thankful for his 8 years with the Lakers, including the title he led us to in 2020 under the toughest imaginable circumstances and the countless records he broke in purple and gold. That is signed by Jeannie Buss. To back that up, here's LeBron's reply to that. He says, no, thank you. Truly an honor to wear the purple and gold while trying to continue the greatness and legacies that came before me. Hope I made a few proud during my stint. You see the crown there for the king. This is the majority of what we are seeing right now. What jersey is he going to wear next year? There's even less of an idea. Is it going to be Golden State, Minnesota, the Timberwolves, the San Antonio Spurs? Is he going to go back to Miami? He's clearly not staying with the Lakers. That's already been announced. Or does he come home? Very interesting. I looked at one of the gambling betting sites. You knew that was going to happen. The favorite right now is Golden State, followed by the Cavs, the Celtics. I don't see that ever happening. He does not like that organization, the Spurs or the Heat. Who has the worst betting odds to get LeBron right now? How about the Memphis Grizzlies, the Milwaukee Bucks, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Phoenix Suns? Those bottom teams can tell you who will not be winning a title anytime soon with or without LeBron. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe an announcement tonight, maybe in the coming days.
All right, Dan, it will be interesting for sure. So we have a simple poll question for you, and this is going to be very, very interesting to see. One you can find on Cleveland19.com. Do you actually want LeBron to come back and play for the Cavaliers? And 60% of you say yes, but a full 40% of the people do not want the guy who helped the Cavaliers win a championship in 2016 to come back and play for the Wine and Gold. Interesting. All right, first at 4, new information on the annual Amy Mihaljevic 5K run coming up in October. Organizers have now added a dog walk as part of this event. It's free to participate, but they are asking for donations. They're hoping to raise $50,000 for DNA testing. 10-year-old Amy Mihaljevic was kidnapped, subsequently murdered in 1989. Her killer has never been captured. Well, you can learn more about her story, sign up for the run, and make a donation on the new website, amymihaljevic.org. You can also sign up in person starting tomorrow at Bay Days. Amy's family will be there in person from 3 to 9 p.m. right next to the police tent. Well, the Supreme Court has ended its term with 2 pretty big blockbuster rulings today. Karen Caifa is in Washington to break down the court's final opinions.
The Supreme Court knocking down President Donald Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship and leaving in place the more than century-long understanding that anyone born in the United States is a U.S. citizen, even if that child's parents are not. Cecilia Wang, National Legal Director for the American Civil Liberties Union and a birthright citizen, made the argument against the Trump administration in April.
This decision reaffirms one of the fundamental pillars of American life, that all of us who are born on American soil are citizens alike.
Joined by Justices Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson in a 6-3 majority. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote of U.S. citizenship, quote, "The framers of the 14th Amendment extended that promise to every free-born person in this land. We keep that promise today." In a dissent, Justice Samuel Alito wrote the ruling, quote, "preserves a powerful incentive to enter or remain in this country illegally," an idea echoed by House Speaker Mike Johnson Tuesday.
It's been abused. It's one of those things that was intended to serve a noble and important purpose and has been thwarted.
Also Tuesday, the court's conservative majority upheld state laws that ban transgender athletes from playing on girls' sports teams, including one in West Virginia.
This is the best way to make sure that women and girls and transgender athletes have appropriate places to play that is fair and competitive.
Joshua Block of the ACLU argued on behalf of the plaintiff in the West Virginia case, Becky Pepper Jackson.
In time, the people are going to see today's decision as a historic mistake.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, affordable housing is a big issue across the country as well as right here in the city. The good thing about that for Cleveland is that the city has the land and seemingly they have the will to build. Today, our Harry Boomer reports live on Cleveland's latest efforts, Harry, to put more people in homes.
That's right, Brian. Anyone driving around the city of Cleveland will see lots of empty lots and empty buildings. They are basically eyesores, and little by little, though, they have been put back on the tax ledgers, and some of the 1,800 plots of empty land will be used for affordable housing, modular homes. Production inside of this building will help make that possible. This big eyesore of an abandoned building on Central Avenue is about to have new life breathe into it.
For too long, we've accepted that building homes simply takes too long, costs too much, and can't keep up with the pace demanded.
Today, Mayor Justin Bibb stood in the historic Wellman Seaver Morgan Engineering Company building at 7000 Central Avenue to announce it will be transformed into a modular home factory. The city and MMY, the preferred modular home manufacturer, are about to pump $2.5 million into the building that was abandoned 20 years ago. It will be a driving force in the community, creating 150 new permanent jobs.
So here's what I love about this project. It brings together things that most people think about as separate items. Housing with manufacturing, historic preservation with economic development, neighborhoods with jobs.
Reviving the 185,000 square foot building was the brainchild of Ward 5 Councilman Richard Starr.
I explained that acquiring this property will finally allow us to transform one of the largest abandoned industrial sites in our neighborhood into an engine for economic opportunity.
This building has also received a Cleveland Landmark designation, a piece of history, creating a new future.
Being able to now place a house that will become a home, that will begin to attract people back to the city of Cleveland, that's what we truly want. That's what people deserve.
Mayor Bibb says modular homes can be built in 6 to 8 months, is less expensive, and is stronger. He says it will also help put Cleveland's affordable housing back in the market, taking care of that critical crisis that we all talk about, that being affordable housing. At East 71st and Central, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
19 Pump Patrol keeping tabs on gas prices. Right now, the national average is $3.82. Here in Ohio, a little less, $3.78. Let's see the best deals we can find around here with the help of Gas Buddy. $3.34, that's at the BP in Akron off North Main Street. $3.39, it's Parma at the Shell in Pleasant Valley. And $3.57 at the Sunoco on Vine in Willoughby. Now your top 4 at 4. Local cities are ready for the heat and big crowds trying to stay cool, like in Shaker Heights. This is the pool in Thornton Park, and it will be open until 7:30 this evening. There are cooling centers all over our area. We have a complete list of them on Cleveland19.com. Well, how about this? LeBron James is leaving the Los Angeles Lakers, and his reps say he is not retiring, but instead will become an unrestricted free agent, which means he can play for whoever offers him the best deal and the best situation to win. Now, some analysts predict the 41-year-old will end his storied career with the Cavs. Not so sure about that. We'll see. Other speculation has James potentially joining a team that has the salary cap space, such as the Golden State Warriors. That would be tough to see LeBron in the uniform of his greatest rival. But hey, it's his choice. The Supreme Court shot down President Trump's executive order restricting birthright citizenship. The president's order denied automatic citizenship to children born in the U.S. whose parents are here temporarily or illegally. The justices, however, pointed to the Constitution's 14th Amendment, the Citizenship Clause, that states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Well, we could find out this evening if Akron Metro bus workers will strike, which could impact your bus ride as early as mid-July. More than 300 bus drivers are voting throughout the day today on whether to strike after members overwhelmingly rejected the latest proposed contract. We're expected to get that result this evening. If they vote yes, the union must give 10 days notice before there is a walkout. We'll let you know what they decide. Well, over the past few days, crews have been fighting several massive wildfires in Colorado and in Utah. The fast-spreading fires destroyed buildings and forced thousands of people to evacuate. Flames, smoke filled the sky as the Aspen Acres fire ripped across Pueblo County, Colorado. Over the weekend, 3 federal wildland firefighters were killed during efforts to contain another major fire along the border with Utah.
It is a tough time to be here already at the beginning of what is going to be a really, really rough fire season, not just for Colorado, but for the American West.
Video from the U.S. Fire Service shows crews knocking down hot spots in the Cottonwood fire. This is in southwestern Utah. Traffic was jammed up as authorities let residents briefly return to evacuation zones to get the things they needed from their homes. Breaking at this hour, authorities in Monaco are searching for a suspect after a bomb exploded at a building there. Prosecutors are calling it an attempted assassination against a Ukrainian-born business tycoon there. The explosion injured 2 adults and a kid. 2 other people outside the building were hurt by debris. A large manhunt remains underway. The motive of the attempted assassination, however, is unclear. Also breaking, the desperate search and rescue mission in Venezuela is now in its 6th day after twin earthquakes decimated parts of that country. Tens of thousands of people are still missing. Video released today shows Jordanian workers rescuing a toddler in Caracas. Another shows a man pulling his 71-year-old mom to safety. More than 1,700 people were killed in those quakes, including 3 Americans.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, back to our top story now. 3 straight 19 First Alert weather days due to the high heat. Temperatures in the 90. In some places it feels like it's over 100, like at Hopkins. Very dangerous conditions right now. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page back now with exactly what we're dealing with. It looks nice enough when you look at it from inside, right?
Yeah, it does, but it's a little deceiving, especially the second you step outside. And if you wear glasses, they probably fog up the second you step outside as well because of all of that heat and humidity that you're just kind of hit with the second you kind of break through the outdoors, especially if you have been enjoying a lot of that air conditioning. Live look from our Oberlin Tower camera. Again, you can see that sky is definitely blue. We've got a lot of sunshine out there, but it has a little bit more of a pale hue to it. That is a perfect indication that you have a lot more humidity sitting in your atmosphere. And so when that happens, it doesn't give you those quite vibrant, bright blue skies like what we have gotten used to over the last several weeks, where we just didn't have a ton of humidity in our atmosphere. It's the complete opposite now, and we have a lot more heat to go with it. And so that's what gives these alert days kind of some footing here for the next couple of days. We're going to stay hot through basically Thursday, and then beyond Thursday, that's when the temperature starts to recover a little bit, and we return to more typical early July temperatures as we look ahead towards the holiday weekend. That said, we are also going to be bringing back a little bit more rain to the forecast as well. So that is a little change that we're going to have to monitor, of course, for any outdoor holiday plans. Temperatures next few hours, don't see much of a difference. We're going to stay upper 80s to lower 90s. Overnight's going to be back into the mid to upper 70s. And again, it feels like factors starting off tomorrow already into the lower 80s. We'll walk you through the heat and the humidity coming up here in just a few minutes.
Well, the heat has prompted the Cleveland Orchestra's free concert at Kane Park to be rescheduled. It will now be September 2nd at 8. It was supposed to be held tomorrow night. The September 2nd performance will feature the same program and conductor. While the concert is free, still need a ticket. They are only available through the Kane Park box office. If you have one, you can use it on the new date. When someone you love goes missing and their life is in danger, you know that every single minute counts. But right now in Ohio, police have to wait for a judge to sign off before a cell phone company can ping a phone and tell them where that person is. A new bipartisan bill, the Kelsey Smith Act, would change all that. Senior investigator Sarah Goldenberg spoke with one of the lawmakers pushing for changes.
Surveillance video from back in June 2007 shows the last moments 18-year-old Kelsey Smith was seen alive. 2 weeks after she graduated high school, a man abducted her from this shopping center in Kansas.
It didn't just hurt Kelsey, but it hurt a whole community full of people.
Her family and police knew she had her cell phone on her, but the telecommunications company wouldn't help them find her location right away.
They said, oh, you have to go through the normal process, get a subpoena, et cetera, et cetera. It took 4 days for that to happen. The tragic part of the case is that once they had that information, 4 days later, they were able to locate her then dead body within 45 minutes.
Ohio State Representative Eric Sonnenberg, a Democrat out of Beechwood, says had they acted sooner, they could have found her alive.
So every minute matters, and there's no reason that in this limited case we shouldn't use the technology we have available to us with cell phones and location and tracking and location information, and be able to find a victim as soon as we possibly can when they're abducted.
Sonnenberg introduced the bipartisan Kelsey Smith Act with State Representative Cindy Abrams, a Republican from Harrison who chairs the Public Safety Committee in the Ohio House. The Kelsey Smith Act would require telecommunication companies provide the location of a cell phone to law enforcement without a subpoena if a person's life is in immediate danger, which the bill defines as danger of death or serious physical injury. The Kelsey Smith Act has passed in 31 other states. Sonnenberg says Ohio is behind.
Are you seeing any opposition to this bill when it comes to, tracking phones, people worrying that it could be abused?
So no, we actually had no opposition testimony, only proponents. I will say that there is a member of ours in the Ohio House who now has some questions. I don't know if it's based on the potential abuse or not, but those kind of at the 11th hour have come up, and we're going to hopefully figure those out, address those.
There are several other components of this bill that came out of the governor's Missing Persons Working Group back in 2025. House Bill 677 includes 3 of the 18 recommendations from the group. The Kelsey Smith Act would also put Ohio's Endangered Missing Children Alert rules into law, automatically notify the right law enforcement agencies when an alert is issued, toughen penalties for anyone accused of taking a child out of the country in a custody case, and require custody interference arrest warrants be entered into state and national databases with a nationwide reach.
At the end of the day, you believe this bill could save lives?
Absolutely. We've seen it. Other states that have passed this law have seen cases where police, law enforcement have been able to go to the telecommunications carrier, find the location of the cell phone, and they have found abducted individuals while they're still, thankfully, alive, and save them.
Right now, this state bill is on hold while the Ohio House is in summer recess. Representative Sonnenberg hopes they'll pass the Kelsey Smith Act when they return to the State House in the fall. There's also federal legislation on the table. The Kelsey Smith Act was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives back in March. It hasn't seen much movement, though, since then. Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.